The Korean Central News Agency released a commentary under the title, "Where is the End of Bloodshed?" The commentary reads, "Israel's war machine, which plunged the whole area of Gaza in blood, is running madly. The Gaza area has already turned into a ground hell where the human existence environment was completely destroyed due to the war that has been going on for nearly 2 years. Since October 2023, the number of Palestinians killed by Israeli army has increased at least 56,000, and all the inhabitants in the Gaza Strip are facing food shortage. Of them, 470,000 are in fatal hunger, the worst stage in the International Index on the Food Situation. Even in the present situation that the humanitarian crisis has reached its extreme phase, Israeli murderers are constantly expanding military attacks in the Gaza Strip, which was turned into ruins, updating the record of genocide every day. Where is the end of bloody massacre and destruction indeed? The Zionists have justified their unethical atrocities in the Gaza Strip under the pretext of the hostage rescue and sweeping of Hamas or Islamic Resistance Movement of Palestine, and have so far misled public opinion as if they were the end of bloodshed. In the early days of the Gaza crisis, the Prime Minister of Israel asserted that Israel had no thought for permanently occupying Gaza or making the civilians immigrate from it, and that the aim is to sweep away Hamas in Gaza and obtain hostages release. In contrast with this, the sweeping of Hamas has already turned into massacre of civilians, total destruction of existence environment, and forcible exile of the inhabitants in Gaza, and the release of hostages has been placed in the back long ago. Voices to demand for ending war and realizing the humanitarian ceasefire are growing in Israel, saying that sweeping of Hamas, the main goal of the war, has not been achieved and the release of hostages is not feasible without negotiation. But the Zionists are persistently divorcing from this reality. It is proved by the acts of the Israeli warmongers who deliberately broke the ceasefire which had been difficultly created through the mediation of the international community in the past and gradually expanded the war, thus flinging away the opportunity to exchange thousands of Palestinian prisoners for their hostages. The Israeli Prime Minister, who has recently become more upbeat under the patronage of his American master, is amply saying that there is no way to stop the war even if Israel brings hostages, swinging from his previous attitude of giving priority to the release of hostages. The Israeli military warmongers' rhetoric is more direct. They asserted that we'll act with all our efforts and will not stop action until all the goals are achieved, including the voluntary immigration plan of the Gaza residents, and unlike in the past, the Israel Defense Forces will not withdraw from the seized areas, although the Gaza war ends, amply agitating full occupation and annexation of the Gaza Strip. The reality clearly shows that even if all the hostages are released, the bloody military atrocities in Gaza will continue with no reason and justification, and that only the result of the complete annexation of Gaza is the ultimate goal pursued by Israel and its behind-the-scenes forces. After all, the Zionists are committing heinous crimes regarding not only the lives of Israeli hostages, but also the lives of millions of Palestinians as victims of the Jewish state's wild ambition for territorial annexation and hostages, for realizing their ambition to dominate the Middle East. The Jewish state's crime to make peace in the Middle East and the rest of the world a sacrifice for realizing its expansionist ambition can never be tolerated.